morning and welcome to Mostly Meandering. It's just Scott today. We've got an amazing place to show you today called Sutton Hoo in Suffolk. I'm just here for the day, so I'm not going to be able to show you everything here, and it's well worth a visit. So come with us and we'll explore everything it has to offer and give you a taster of it. If you want an idea of prices, National Trust members get in for free, and you can buy a day ticket for £15.75, or if you donate it's £17. And there's a lots here. You can spend a good few hours here. You can find the helmet that was found here in the British Museum, and I'm sure many people have seen it. But this is the place where it was discovered all those years ago by Basil Brown. Now, they reckon that there were grave robbers in Tudor times, and they dug that pit to try and get to where they thought the treasure was hidden, and they were so close to finding it, so it was a very, very lucky that they didn't actually rob the burial chamber. Edith Petty was a very wealthy landowner, and she owned the land that Basil Brown did the excavations on, and she was the one that donated the things to the National Trust when she died. And her house has been turned into a museum now. I just want to show you the blue plaque, because she is a very famous Suffolk person. And this was her house from 1926 to 1942. And she was the person who got Basil Brown to do the excavations. The exhibition in the house is really nice, but the house itself is amazing. The kind gentleman on the door who was here to welcome us was telling us that things are being donated back to the National Trust by families, so pictures that were originally sold on have been donated back to them, which is good. There's so many things to see compared to when I was here 30 years ago. Used to only be able to visit the mounds, but now you can visit so much more. And if you're a National Trust member, you get in for free. This will be one of East Suffolk's biggest properties, if not the biggest, and probably one of the most famous now. Now, these mounds are the burial ground for the Woofingers, who were Anglo-Saxon kings, and from the 6th and 7th centuries. And there's approximately 20 in total. Most of them, sadly, were robbed in earlier times. Just to give you an idea of the 18 mounds or potential mounds, one of them there's a dispute over whether it is actually a burial mound now. All bar one were either robbed or probably robbed. There's a few that they haven't excavated, but all of those that haven't been excavated are ones that they think have already been robbed in previous times. I'm at the top now, and you do get an amazing view down towards Woodbridge, which is the the town I went to school in. And if you look, there, you can just about see the river where these boats would have been carried from all those centuries ago. Quite a trek. Before we go in for a cuppa, just want to show you this, which is the replica sculpture to show you how big these ships actually were. Right, just got a scone, and I have got a flapjack, and I have got 2 teas. Now, how much was it? It was £12, so quite reasonable. There's plenty to choose from, and it's not too expensive. And you can get alcohol here, beers and everything. Right, I'm just going to try it. Lovely. It wasn't just King Radwold whose grave was here. There was also an excavated grave of a horseman. He was a young warrior who was about 25 when he died. And must have been a well-respected member of the household. The main exhibition, you get the reconstructions of what the shield would have looked like that was found in the grave, and this is just one of the shields. The reconstruction of the world famous helmet that was discovered, and as I say, the original is in the British Museum. Imagine what the archaeologists would have felt when they started to unearth that. There's a reason why it's world famous, this place. National Trust is struggling a little bit at the moment, so I'm going to show you what they're doing for the books that are donated that they can't sell. This is the bookshop, and it's got a variety of things for you to buy. But she did ask me to point out something to you all, so if you do come, you'll be able to look at what they do with them. I'll show you this in a minute. She turned the books that can't be sold into kits that you can actually build things. Now there's a hedgehog, a mouse and a chicken apparently that you can buy the packs for. And it raises money for them. But it also uses the books that just would be thrown away normally. From the kit that we got from Sutton Hoo, we have made our little hedgehog companion. Now, I think he'll look like a very good mascot for the channel, so please name him in the comments below. Also, like and subscribe. We are nearly at 100, so not long to go until we'll have the magic 3 figures. Right, we've arrived at the other side of the river now from Sutton Hoo, which is in the distance on the other side. And I'm going to show you, this is high tide. It's just starting to turn now and it's starting to go out to the left. But up there, if you go 10 miles, you end up at the port of Felixstowe, Old Felixstowe in particular. And we're heading towards the white building over there in the distance, which is the tide mill, which is one of the only working tide mills in the country. I think there's 2. So, if anyone's heard of crabbing, it's where you get a line, a stone, and some bait such as a fish head or bacon. Tie the bait on the line, throw it in, and you then start catching crabs. Now, you can catch crabs the size of your hand. I mean, they're not edible ones, but there are loads of crabs, and they're tidal, so they come in on the tide and they go out on the tide. And there are still boats here, but these are a lot more leisure boat orientated now than they would have been in 1500s. Just while I was walking, I saw this, which is a sculpture commemorating the sisters Molly and Ethel Everson, who were the boatyard owners. And that was Everson's boatyard just there.
We're on the cabin as well.
Well, I've just made our way round. We're heading towards the tide now, but we're going somewhere a little bit different, which is tied to the Sutton Hoo site. Right. So what we are at is called the Longship. It's free entry for you and your dog, and it's a reconstruction of the Sutton Hoo ship that would have been buried with King Radwold all those centuries ago. And they were trying to build it using traditional tools, but I think they're now building it as close to traditional as they can, but they've realised that the skill set that you would need to be able to do it completely isn't there in the world at the moment. But look at this, it's really amazing. This would be the back of the boat, and it would go this way. Now, it really is progressing. When I was here last, it was a lot smaller than this, and it's still quite a while to go, but it's definitely getting there. Just at the top of the building of where the boat is, there's a little exhibition that you can go into, and that again is free. After leaving Sutton Hoo, just before I go from Ipswich Station, I just wanted to show you Ipswich Harbour. It's a lovely place now. Rather unusual building here. Old custom house. And the Victor. Which you can hire for cruises. So if you're here on a Sunday afternoon and want something to do, pop down to the Ipswich Harbour side and jump on the Victor. When I was doing my nursing training here about 30 years ago, about 25 years ago to be exact, this was not like this at all. It was run down factories, biscuit factory that was here. This is unrecognisable to me. And that white building there, which is the University of Suffolk, that it used to be called Suffolk College, and that building wasn't even there at the time. So Ipswich has definitely turned out a lot nicer than I remember, certainly in this area. Look at this. Alright, I've got my beer, which is an alcohol-free. Got a Diet Coke. We're off to Ely tomorrow. So cheers for now, and catch you tomorrow for more Mostly Meander. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.